Hi everyone, in this video I will discuss about the fundamental fragmentation may happen in a molecule during the ionization. So first we will see how a molecule or neutral molecule can convert to molecular ion. As you know, if a molecule has lifetime greater than 10 power minus 5 second, that molecular ion will survive and will give the mass of molecular ion. But if that molecular ion has lifetime less than 10 to the power minus 5 second, that molecular ion will not survive in the ionization chamber and it will fragment further into the fragment ions. So instead of molecular ion mass, you will get the mass of different fragments. Now, how a neutral molecule may convert to molecular ion? So during the ionization event, the electron most likely to be ejected are the ones that are in the highest energy molecular orbital, that those are in HOMO. So if we will see, it is easier to remove an electron from a non-bonding orbital compared to p orbital, because n-bonding orbital are higher energy than p orbital. P orbital are higher energy than s orbital. So if molecule has n bonding or non-bonding orbitals, then electron will remove from the n orbitals. So but if molecule has only p orbital and s orbital, then in case of electron bombardment, electron will remove from the p orbital, because p orbital will be the HOMO in that case. So let's discuss some example. In this case, it has a oxygen so this is oxygen containing saturated molecule. So here it has n orbital, means non-bonding orbital are the HOMO. So when you bombard this molecule with electrons from the n non-bonding orbitals will move out first. So you will get this radical cation. In case of this nitrogen containing molecule, it will be same. Nitrogen will have electron in non-bonding orbital. So when we will bombard this molecule with electrons, so electrons from non-bonding orbitals will come out and finally we will get this molecular ion, that is radical cation. So this is another case of oxygen containing saturated molecule. Here the HOMO is non-bonding orbital. Now if we see this molecule does not have non-bonding orbital, but it has p orbital and s orbital. In this case, p orbital is the HOMO for this molecule, and when we will bombard this molecule with electrons, then electrons from the p orbital, that is a HOMO in this case, will come out and we will get this radical cation or molecular ion. So that will be true in this case also. In case of benzene, which also has p orbital as a HOMO, when we will bombard that benzene with electrons, so electrons from p orbital will come out and finally we will get this molecular ion. And this is another case of oxygen containing molecule that has non-bonding orbital as well as p orbital, but non-bonding orbital is higher in energy, so first electron will come out from non-bonding orbital. So finally we will get this radical cation here. So this is the way we are converting neutral molecule to the molecular ion. So it will depend that what is the HOMO for that particular molecule. Now we will see if lifetime of the molecular ion is less than 10 to the power minus 5 second, how it will fragment further. So for that we have to consider some fundamental principles that can help us to predict what fragments can be formed from a molecular ion. So first rule in this continuation is the Stevenson rule. So according to Stevenson rule, the most probable fragmentation is the one that leaves the positive charge on the fragment with the lowest ionization energy. In other words, we can say fragmentation process that leads to the formation of more stable ions are favor over process that leads to the less stable ions. Or another definition for Stevenson rule is, in competing fragmentation, the product ion form from its neutral species counterparts with the lower ionization energy will usually be the more abundant. So this is the increasing order. So if you see, if CH3 plus and RCH2 plus, CH3 plus will be more abundant than RCH2 plus because it will be more difficult to fragment further. RCH2 plus can be fragmented further, but CH3 will not fragment further. So that will be the most abundant, will have, or it will have the lowest ionization energy. So this order shows the easiness of the fragmentation. So comparison of CH3 plus, it will be easy to fragment C6H5CH2 plus ions. So this is order is according to Stevenson rule. Now second is the radical side initiated cleavage, which is also known as alpha cleavage. So in radical side initiated fragmentation is one of the most common one bond cleavage and is more commonly called an alpha cleavage. And the term alpha cleavage is confusing to some because the bond that is broken is not directly attached to the radical side. So for example, this is the radical side and this bond directly connected to this radical side is not breaking. So bond next to the neighboring atom means this is the neighboring atom and bond to this neighboring atom is breaking in this alpha cleavage. So alpha cleavage may occur at saturated or unsaturated site that may or may not involve a heteroatom. So that Y can be a heteroatom or it cannot be a heteroatom. So now this is the radical site which will initiate this cleavage, and this is the neighboring atom for this radical site or alpha position. Now bond connected to this alpha position will cleavage in this fragmentation. So now when this bond will break, it will leave this radical and this cation. This cation will be detected by mass detector. Now in this case, this is the radical site and this is the neighboring atom, and this bond next connected to this neighboring atom will break, and finally we will get this radical cation and this is neutral alkene. Now this is the case of radical side, but this is unsaturated this time, and this is the neighboring atom of Y, and the bond this is connected to this neighboring atom will break here. So finally we will get this radical and this alkyne cation here. And this is another example of allylic alpha cleavage, and this allylic alpha cleavage may have two resonance form. If we talk about this is the radical site and this is the neighboring atom of this radical site, and finally this bond will cleavage and will leave this radical and this cation. So this is the alpha cleavage. So this is initiated by a radical site. So this is important to note that this fragmentation are happening after formation of molecular ion. First, always molecular ion will form, and if that molecular ion has lifetime less than 10⁻⁵ seconds, that molecular ion will fragment further according to Stevenson rule, radical side initiated cleavage or further cleavages, which I am going to discuss. The third cleavage which can be fragment to a molecular ion is a charge site initiated cleavage or inductive cleavage. Charge site initiated or inductive cleavage often initiated by the symbol I, and inductive cleavage involve the attraction of an electron pair by an electronegative heteroatom that ends up as a radical or as a closed cell neutral molecule. So this is the electronegative heteroatom and this is the charge site for this cleavage, and this will attract this lone pair of electron, and finally this bond will break here and will end up at the formation of cation and this radical. Again this will attract this electron pair and will end up with formation of cation and radical here. This is the example of another heteroatom containing molecule which is giving this cleavage by attracting this electron pairs from this bond, and this will move towards the Y, and finally it will fragment to R plus and YH2. So in this case YH2 is a neutral. So finally it will end up either the formation of cation and radical or cation plus neutral molecule. So same will be in this last example. This electron pair will move to the Y, which is a heteroatom here. So this will be have always Y as a heteroatom. Next is a retro-Diels-Alder cleavage. So unsaturated 6-member rings can undergo a retro-Diels-Alder fragmentation to produce the radical cation of a diene and a neutral alkene. So the hypothetical precursor to the cyclohexane derivatives, if it had been prepared in the forward direction via the 4-pi plus 2-pi or diene plus dienophile cycloaddition, which is known as the Diels-Alder reaction. So not here we have to note that the unpaired electrons and charge remains with the diene fragments according to the Stevenson rule. So this is the alkene which will fragment according to the retro-Diels-Alder fragmentation. So this is a concerted mechanism. So these electrons will move here from this pi bond, and this bond will move here, this electrons will move here, and for this sigma bond this electron will move and this electron will move. So finally this will give this alkene which is neutral, and this is diene which will have the unpaired electrons according to the Stevenson rule. Now last one is the Mac-Lafferty rearrangement, which is one of the most important fragments in after the formation of molecular ion. And this fragmentation was first described by Fred Mac-Lafferty in 1956 and is one of the most predictable fragmentation after the alpha cleavage. In the Mac-Lafferty rearrangement, a hydrogen atom on a carbon atom away from the radical cation of an alkene. Means this is alkene, this can be alkene, arene, carbonyl or imine, and Z can be carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. Now we have to count 3 carbon atoms from this side, means 1, 2, 3, or we can say that alpha, beta, gamma. So now proton at gamma position will be transferred to this charge site, means this proton will transfer to the Z via a 6-member transition state with the cleavage of the sigma bond between the alpha and beta, means this sigma bond will cleavage and this form a new radical cation and an alkene, like in this way. So an alkene and an radical cation will form, and this will be a concerted mechanism. So in this a pi bond between the original beta and gamma position of carbon will form, and generally this is also a concerted process and end up by the formation of this radical cation and a neutral alkene. So for this rearrangement we have to look first a alkene, arene, carbonyl or imine side, and we have to count carbons away from this side. If it has 3 carbons, then there will be possibility of Mac-Lafferty rearrangement. And thank you very much.